Any update on the Void Strange video? Yeah, I've got to go through. We have a 3-hour draft that I need to go through, which I will do on the flight back. Because I don't have time at the moment. Have I watched the new season of Black Butler? I have. I also watched it on Netflix in Japanese. And the Netflix version had different subs from the Crunchyroll version. And I learned that I didn't know a certain English word that I had to look up. I was very confused. I realized I think I was just a fake Brit. I'm a fake Brit. And I don't know if anyone knows the word. What was the word? Okay, chat. Okay, all right. I'm going to say it, but don't. There's a lot of context around this, okay? There's a lot of context around this word. So please, all right, okay? There is an old English term, which I didn't know about, that is... they use to explain in like really posh old schools. They had a word where like a first year student would look after and do the tasks of the upper class year student. And it was called didn't know this. And so I was watching the show and I'm watching it and they kept saying it. And I was like, what am I missing here? What the hell? There's no shot Netflix is getting comfortable throwing this out here. And there was like one point in the show, and again, I'm quoting the show here, right, chat? So don't cancel me, for God's sake. Where like, the Netflix subtitles said like, come on, CL, it's time. And I was like, oh, okay, slam the space bar. Okay, huh? What? I had to like look it up, and I was like, there's no, okay, what's going on here? And I looked it up, and apparently this is again, an old English term used in schools in the UK exclusively. In like, I think maybe if you went to like Eton or something, like the really like fancy 1% school, you would then go and, you know, if you were a first year, you would look after your third year. You'd do his chores and stuff. And if you were doing those chores, you would be called, which is like, I was like, what? This is wild. And then, obviously for the dub, they changed it. But I was kind of sad that they changed it because I thought, wow, we've like this word which was being used in, you know, in the correct context. I obviously understand why they changed it. But I kind of thought, wow, that kind of sucks that like we literally had a word for this thing and now we can no longer use this word because we have a bad word that replaced it. But I feel like, man, that's kind of sad that we lost like this kind of like aspect of that like cultural aspect of it. So I was like, oh man, lots of words like that. Yeah, weird. Because like, I mean, the word didn't like have any bad connotations to it. So until like now. So so that was interesting. Do we call cigarettes that in the UK? Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we also call that cigarettes in the UK. Like you'll go around the UK and people will still use that word often. I mean, obviously I try not to use it. I've changed my vocabulary to say cigarettes because I don't really enjoy having to explain that every time. Like I don't really enjoy having to explain why I call it that. Yeah, people call it a cig or they call it that. It really depends where you're at. I mean, look at the word come and nut. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's a very normal word in the UK, right? So, but I watched it and I was like, without understanding, because I didn't know what the word was, so it was very confusing. And I think in the Crunchyroll version they changed it, but because obviously I was watching in Japan, I'm watching the Japanese English subtitle version where they kept the word. So that was really interesting. So I was like, wow, very interesting. I'm a gay guy, and to be honest, within the gay community, we started to use the word to try and reclaim it, and not make it a big deal. Hopefully this changes, lol. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, words are complicated. And I am of the mindset of, I'm just trying to, whatever people are not chill with at the time, I'm trying not to say it. So, just don't need to say it. Not in my vocab, don't need to say it. So, it was reclaiming the word good. I mean, you know, as fuck them. No one should be able to use a word in a derogatory manner to be able to offend people. I think if you can reclaim that, more fucking power to you. It's hard to put the toothpaste back in the bottle. Yeah.